a surge in bus passengers across Brisbane's new network, a new marina that could boost tourism on the Brisbane River, and fresh proposals that could reshape parts of the city. Let's explore what's been happening across the Brisbane City area this week. We'll look at new figures from the city's bus network, a proposal to speed up online deliveries by rezoning industrial land for logistics companies, several new development proposals, and some changes affecting food trucks operating in Brisbane parks. This video is sponsored by Excel Psychology. Let's get updated. Brisbane City Council says its new bus network is already delivering a significant increase in public transport usage. According to council figures, more than 51.2 million bus and metro trips were recorded across the network between July 2025 and the end of January this year. That represents an increase of around 4.7 million trips, or roughly 10%, compared with the same period a year earlier. Council estimates this is equivalent to around 3.9 million car trips being removed from Brisbane's roads based on an assumed average vehicle occupancy of 1.2 people per car. That estimate assumes many of the additional passengers previously travelled by private vehicle, although transport analysts often note that increases in public transport use can also come from people switching from different modes, such as cycling or taking a train, or making a new trip altogether. The new network launched alongside permanent services on the Brisbane Metro bus's first two routes, the M1 and M2. Together with the Queensland Government's 50-cent fares policy, Council says bus patronage has increased by around 27% over the past 2 years. Council also says travel times have improved. Trips between South Bank and Queen Street bus stations are now about 40% faster thanks to the Adelaide Street Tunnel, which allows buses and metro vehicles to bypass congestion in the CBD. The tunnel now carries about 1,400 bus and metro bus services each weekday. Across the broader network, average bus journeys are around 7% faster according to analysis from TransLink. Council says the new network has added around 160,000 additional services annually and more than 30 million extra seats across the system. The changes included 5 entirely new routes, a number of redesigned suburban routes connecting with metro services, and several routes being merged or split to improve efficiency and reliability. However, the rollout has not been without criticism. One of the biggest concerns raised by some commuters is the shift away from direct routes towards a system that relies more heavily on transfers. Council has argued that 2-seat journeys are common in major cities, but some passengers say the changes mean they now need to catch 2 or even 3 buses for trips that were previously direct. Some parents have also reported difficulties adapting to the new routes for school travel, with concerns about children navigating interchanges or longer journeys. There have also been reports of overcrowding on some metro bus services, particularly when several vehicles arrive together and the first bus fills quickly while following buses remain underused. And while Council says the vast majority of trips are now faster or unchanged, it acknowledges that some journeys have become longer under the new network design. Transport advocates have also pointed out that while the new network is improving bus travel in some areas, it doesn't on its own solve the broader challenge of congestion across southeast Queensland. Council says the network will continue to evolve as passenger patterns become clearer and as future metro expansions are planned. If you've noticed online shopping deliveries getting faster in recent years, Brisbane City Council says another planning change could help speed them up even further. Large distribution centres can handle hundreds of thousands of orders each day, which is why companies increasingly want them located close to major cities. Council is proposing to rezone more than 200 industrial properties across the city to make it easier for logistics and distribution companies to operate in Brisbane. The changes would affect around 82 hectares of land across 3 major industrial precincts. Under the proposal, land currently zoned General Industry C, which allows heavier industrial uses, would be reclassified as General Industry B. Council says the shift could attract more warehousing, logistics and distribution businesses, the kind of facilities that help enable same-day or next-day delivery for online purchases. Speaking in Council this week, Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner said the proposal reflects how rapidly the retail retail and freight landscape is changing. He pointed to major investments by companies such as Amazon in large distribution centres designed to move products closer to customers. The proposal has already been through public consultation and will now be sent to the state government for approval before returning to council for final adoption into the city plan. The council meeting where the proposal was debated was also unusually heated, with councillors trading accusations over technical issues affecting the live stream of proceedings. Some opposition councillors suggested the camera system was selectively obscuring them during the meeting, while council representatives said the issue was likely caused by automated camera tracking software.
I can't believe this. The LNP Council censored every single opposition councillor this morning. They literally blurred the screen.
It's the beginning of the school term, Council's own traffic assessment of Polaris.
Whenever an LNP councillor went up to speak, it was crystal clear. But whenever I got up, or an opposition councillor got up, it was blurred. Does anybody else think it's strange that only the opposition councillors were blurred on video?
Another proposal attracting attention this week involves a concept designed for redeveloping land near the Gabba. The idea centres on sinking part of Stanley Street underground to create space above for a new urban village. Supporters say this could unlock valuable land near the stadium and create opportunities for housing, public space, and new commercial development. The proposal is currently at concept stage and would require extensive planning work and funding before moving any further. But it reflects growing interest in how the area around the Gabba could evolve over the coming decades, particularly with the Brisbane 2032 Olympics approaching. If you need support with anxiety, depression, stress, ADHD, or relationship challenges, the sponsor of this video, Excel Psychology, may be what you're looking for. They're a warm, inclusive psychology practice based in Spring Hill, about 500 metres from Central Station. With a diverse team of clinical and registered psychologists, they'll help match you with the right psychologist for your needs, often with short wait times. They offer Medicare rebates with a mental health treatment plan and also support work cover and NDIS participants. Click this QR code or the link in the video description. This week also brought several new or updated development proposals across the inner city. In Bowen Hills, a developer has proposed a new residential tower as part of the continued transformation of the inner city precinct. The proposal by developer Landitude would include around 190 apartments along with shared rooftop amenities and ground-level retail space, adding to the growing cluster of high-density projects near the Bowen Hills station and RNA showgrounds. Meanwhile, an updated development application has been lodged for the Brisbane Place project in the CBD. The revised plans seek approval for a taller architectural crown and internal changes to the tower's core layout, while keeping the overall height within the approved building envelope. And in Toowong, plans have also been submitted for a taller residential building along Glen Road. The updated design proposes increasing the height of the project while retaining a podium and tower format with ground-level retail and apartments above, close to the Toowong commercial precinct and the train station. Together, these proposals highlight the continued push toward higher density development in inner city and transport-connected areas of Brisbane. Despite being Brisbane's defining natural feature, much of the river has historically been underutilised for tourism compared with waterfront cities like Sydney, but this week construction has begun on a new commercial marina on the Brisbane River that could help expand tourism activity on the water. The project, known as Colmsley Wharves, is being built at Morningside and will provide around 50 berths for tourism vessels. Developers say the marina could inject up to $100 million into Brisbane's tourism economy by creating a permanent base for river-based businesses. Operators have previously argued that a lack of dedicated berthing infrastructure has limited the growth of river tourism in the city. Once complete, the marina could support a range of new experiences, including boutique cruises, eco-tourism activities, adventure sports, and private water taxi services. Leasing is already underway, with the facility expected to open in mid-2026. Brisbane's food trucks and coffee carts have also been expanding rapidly across the city's parks. Since July last year, Brisbane City Council has expanded the number of approved trading locations from just 13 sites to 98 parks and public areas. Council says the new system has already recorded nearly 2,900 bookings and more than 17,000 hours of trade. Popular locations include the Wynnum Wading Pool, Eleanora Park in Wynnum, Sandgate Foreshores Park, and Les Atkinson Park in Sunnybank. Council says the new program allows multiple vendors to operate in parks while making it easier for residents to find nearby food trucks through an interactive website. However, some operators say the new system has drawbacks. Several vendors told the Brisbane Times that the tiered licensing system can limit access to popular locations unless businesses pay higher fees. Some also say the booking system makes it difficult to maintain regular trading spots where they've built up a loyal customer base. Council says the program was designed following feedback from businesses and that further adjustments are being considered. In arts news, the Brisbane Street Art Festival has announced it will not run in 2026. Organisers say the Free Public Art Festival relies heavily on government funding and sponsorship, and the financial support required to deliver the event did not come together this year. Since launching in 2016, the festival has produced more than 400 murals across Brisbane. Artists involved over the years include both local and international muralists, with works appearing on buildings and infrastructure across the city. Festival organisers say the cancellation is intended to be a pause rather than an end to the event, with planning already underway for a return in 2027. And finally, a small piece of good news for local brewers. Several Australian breweries and distilleries were recognised at National Industry Awards held in Brisbane last week. Among them, Happy Valley Brewing Co. in Stafford won the Grand Champion Beer Award for its 50k IPA, highlighting the city's growing reputation in Australia's craft brewing scene. We've looked at some of the key developments across the Brisbane City Council area this week. If you'd like to see what's been happening in the other parts of Greater Brisbane, you can check out the updates for those council areas, as well as the full Greater Brisbane overview and the complete update series if you'd like to follow everything that's been happening across the whole region this week. See you there.